Both matches this morning also about to get underway. The first frame of a possible 25. We'll keep you informed about Hawkins and Dodd, of course. Right now, though, myself and Joe Johnson will be concentrating on a battle of two wonderful break builders.
Yes, good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. The head-to-head between these two favours Neil Robertson ever so slightly. 6 wins to Foo's 5. Well, raised his hand. And he's got chance of yellow or green. Now, he could take the brown on, could take the green or yellow on, but probably feels it's a little bit early.
Mark a free one.
But hasn't quite got that cue ball in front of the brown. There is a red that will go to the left corner. Plenty of cue power there. And a little unfortunate to have brought that red down the table and left it on. So that attempted safety by Marco Fu paid off, earned him a chance. Well, that was certainly a chance, and he expected to get it because he played for the black.
One.
Just a little short of pace, but I think the black goes to both pockets, and being a left-hander, he might play the red to the right corner pocket. Having a good look at the black. Well, he's playing for the red to the left corner. And I'm surprised because being a left-handed player, it looked easier to play the red to the right corner.
Seven.
Marco Fu, his first couple of shots have been a little bit suspect for me because he could have took the green or yellow on and decided to play the negative shot and just roll up behind, well, in front of the brown. And then his second shot, he missed a relatively easy red to the middle. So, if you're his opponent, you're just sensing that Marco Fu is a little bit nervous at the moment. Now, maybe Robertson can play the cannon to the red directly above this red he's taking on. And hold for the black into the left corner. Doesn't need to play the cannon.
15.
But if he does, he's nicely on the black. And this is already a good chance for Neil Robertson. Red spread nicely. Chance to settle in to this last 16 match.
Yes, you're right about Fu, Joe, and he doesn't want a repeat of what happened in the first round. He made a really slow start against Belgium's Luca Brissell and found himself trailing 5-0. At the end of the first session, he was 7-2 behind In his own mind, he admitted freely he thought he was on his way home,
23.
but came back to win 10-9. Now that's a great achievement against anyone. But Neil Robertson is a different kettle of fish to Luca Brecel, with all due respect.
Yeah, I agree.
30.
But also, I remember Neil Robertson himself being, I think it was 11-5 down to Martin Gould, bucked out of his hotel and finished up winning that match and winning the championship. And sometimes when that happens, every round is a bonus because you expect it to be going out. So maybe Fu will benefit from that scare.
And of course, Joe, you can say that from personal experience, because when you had your glory year in 1986, 12-9 down to Terry Griffiths.
Yeah, you can find inspiration here at Sheffield. That's
39.
so true.
Sure.
Not happy with the bounce off the second cushion. Wanted a different angle on the black. Wanted to be straighter on it so he could just screw back for the red into the same pocket. And he's slightly the wrong side of the black now. And it makes the next positional shot just that little bit more difficult. Doesn't want to screw back and hit that red on the cushion, but he could screw back for the red into the left centre. Neil Robertson at his best for me when he's attacking the balls. Going into the pack of reds, he's overscrewed it a little. For the red to the middle, that is. And he's the wrong side of the red to the left corner. Well, he could cue at the red, and now he's perfectly on this black to stand back for the red into the same pocket. You know, played it for the other pocket, and that's nothing wrong with that. Either way, he's on the red.
$55.
And it doesn't matter whether it's
62.
best of 7, best of 9, whatever, best of 25 in this case. It's always nice to make a good start.
Yes, it's always nice to be in front. And I think Marco Fu, really, this is the World Championship now, best of 25 frames. I don't think you can afford to be negative.
63.
I think you've got to attack the balls and try and win the frame in one visit. The way that Robertson's done here.
70.
He was very positive. He missed the long red that he went for originally. Left a chance for Marco Fu, but the point is, it was difficult cueing, and he went for the red.
71.
Throwing down his intentions about this match. Attacking. And as he's just proved, you don't always pay the price by attacking. In fact, it's one in the frame.
77.
Fu missed, and he was straight back in again.
78.
Every chance of a century.
Yes, and he arrived at a century-breaking milestone
85.
during his win over Noppon Sankam in the first round. Robertson made his 500th century break in professional competition. He's 4th on the all-time list, behind only Ronnie O'Sullivan, Stephen Hendry and John Higgins.
I think he's going to make 1 or 2 more before he's finished as well.
Okay. 86.
Now, I played for the red to the middle, so he could
93.
move the red near the middle pocket on the side of the table. Didn't quite come far enough, but now a guaranteed century.
He's a man who values centuries, enjoys making them.
101.
That's his 53rd at the Crucible.
Wait for it. Wait for it. That little flick on the black.
102.
And they certainly love that.
$105. Robertson, 100.
An emphatic start from Neil Robertson. Couldn't be much better. Sending out an immediate Sunday morning message to Marco Fu.
Wide as possible, please. Thank
You, of course, before a ball was struck, how difficult a task this was going to be, and that opinion has been well and truly reinforced.
Yes, and not a good break-off. He might be sat in his chair again here. Great pot. And not a bad little rub on the red. Kept the cue ball away from the cushion. Without the rub on the red, that cue ball would have been under the cushion. Now he could try and just play a gentle cannon to the red, push it towards the pocket, or screw back. No, that's not good. I didn't detect a kick. I think that was just a miss. Let's have a look. Didn't detect a kick. Did you, Phil?
No, and I think it's very important that we don't always assume when a player misses a ball it's because of a kick. Clearly last night in the John Higgins-Mark Allen match, Allen had a couple of terrible kicks at terrible times, and they were influential in the overall outcome. We saw Zhao Guodong have a kick in the closing frame against Mark Selby of their first session. They happen, of course they do, but players are fallible as well.
No.
So Marco Fu gets his chance.
I was thinking about that first frame, Joe. It was very different from the first frame when they met
16.
at the Scottish Open this season back in December. Fu won it with a break of 141. This time he was confined to his chair.
Well, I think it sprung off that right side cushion again. It did so for Neil Robertson in the last frame. Is it hard enough? Just about. Could have done with being straighter on the red. Had to play a gentle cannon to the pink, and if he's the wrong side of it, May not be a red that goes. He's just checking to see if there's a red goes to that right corner. Well, red must go.
29.
As the players were introduced, I predicted a heavy scoring contest, and the reason for that, everything points to that being the case. All of the previous statistics between these two show fluency, and look at that split. Hit the pink right on the nose. Now looking really good.
Yeah, that was a good split. Turned out good anyway. Hit the pink where he wanted to. And now everything goes, taken in sequence.
Thanks. 36.
Historically, these two have tended to bring the best out of each other. This is their 13th meeting, as Joe said. Robertson leads 6-5 in wins with one draw.
Oh, well.
Marco Fu. 36.
He's very fortunate there, Marco Fu, not to have left a red on. Again, didn't detect a kick. Just a miss. Very much, it could have been a kick because the cue ball's nowhere near where he played it to be. But didn't detect one. And that cue ball's not close enough to the cushion. He's left a half chance for Marco Fu. Thin cut to the corner.
Fu didn't do me any favours there. I was saying that these two bring the best out in each other, but they really do. Just to put that into numbers, Robertson's century in the first frame was the 23rd century in matches between this pair over the years. Robertson's made 12 now, Fu 11.
Well, that's amazing where you get those facts from. But very, very interesting. And it shows that these two do score well against each other, and that's because they probably respect each other so much. Good pace on the cue ball there for the safety. Trying to force Marco Fu to hit the reds thick or thin, but couldn't be tempted. No touching ball called. Well, when somebody plays a shot like that, for me, there's nothing else to do but just touch them. If he comes off them to the black cushion, he leaves an easy safety shot. Now a chance for Marco Fu to take advantage of the safety. Now, half chance of the double here. The red on the left side of the table will be going somewhere near that right corner. He'll be concentrating on getting the cue ball back into the pork area, but there's half a chance of the red going in. And in it goes. It's a shame he's got such a good cue ball. But a chance to play the snooker.
Robertson won.
And played it well. That was a good touch.
That shot with the cue ball close to the ball cushion, when you nestle in behind a ball colour, to the uninitiated looks quite straightforward, but on these very fast cloths, under pressure, it needs a really delicate touch. He's played that, as Joe said, very well.
Yeah, so easy to underhit that and leave yourself snookered with a free ball, I might add. And because you can leave it short, so easy to hit it too hard. Just short of pace.
And a miss. Neil Robertson.
But he's got the line. Well, worth putting back. If he hits this just a fraction too hard, he could leave it on to the left corner. That's what he's playing, but a fraction too hard, he leaves the red on.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yep, just rubbed it. And that's a good escape, good touch from Marco Fu.
The opening frame is in the books on the other table. Graham Dott has taken the first against Barry Hawkins.
Five, please.
Well, he's pushed one out, and he's got great cue power, Neil Robertson. He might take this one on. Screw back for the blue. He could leave the cue ball there for the pink, but that's dangerous. If he missed the red, he'd be leaving reds on. If this red goes in, he's every chance of winning this frame. Played it with safety in mind. Now, can Marco Fu see enough of the red? That's the answer.
One.
I didn't think Neil Robertson played that last red too confidently. He could have left the cue ball there for the pink, and that would have showed his intentions of being super confident. Where he screwed the cue ball back to, it wasn't really on a colour. The black in the way for Marco Fu if he takes the green. If he plays it plain ball, the in-off could be on. Yeah, he couldn't avoid the black.
Four.
And barring a good recovery shot, that's a let-off for Neil Robertson. That's a good recovery. And this is going to be very difficult to get to the next red. The brown just in the way. Could put the brown safe, play the snooker. Be good to see a ball safe here rather than the 5 points. Well, I think that's a wise decision.
Marco Fu. Five.
Hasn't quite got the snooker, but got the blue safer than where it was. Well, I think there was a couple of big bounces there. And that's a better pace, but might just be able to pot the red just above the pink. Doesn't have to take this long straight red on. There's a red on the pink spot that's available. But that's good cueing. Needs another one now, though. And that was much more difficult than the red that Neil Robertson had to the opposite corner. Now struck that one well as well, and might be able to play for the pink here.
Yes, two good signs there back to back. Fu isn't renowned for his potting from distance. He's not renowned for his power play either, and yet he's potted a really good red and then a lovely screw back. All confidence boosting signs.
.39 points the lead.
Five.
Slightly overrun the position, but it should be okay. And now he should take the second frame. 46 points the lead. So just needs the red.
11.
These are the kind of frame balls you like, Joe.
12. $18. 19.
Always nice to get a frame on the board, and now both players have got that frame. They can settle down
25.
to a good battle.
On the frame.
Yes, I think this is going to be punch and counter punch. It could be a very close run thing. The first two frames have been shared. Significance. Welcome back, everyone, to what should be a really attractive contest between the leading two players from their respective destinations, i.e. Neil Robertson, Australia's #1, against Marco Fu, Hong Kong's #1.
There's a thin red here, just above the black. Cue ball's going into the red, so he deemed it too risky. Not an easy pot, so just a safety.
This is the start of a two-session day for Fu and Robertson. They come back this evening and then play this match to a finish tomorrow night. And you will have seen the draw at the top of the show, or as Fu runs in off. One of the quirks of today is that there are no scheduled finishes. I say scheduled because, of course, if someone wins with a session to spare, there might be a result unexpectedly. Can't see that in this match, though, Joe.
No, this, I think this is going to be close. He's got this red to the right corner, and he could play down for the black. Or screw for the blue. Be interesting to see which ball he plays for here. Great pot. Down for the blue. Couldn't have struck that any better. Never touch the sides. A real confidence booster, those type of shots. Now, he could just play gentle cannon into the reds. Or you could try and screw across the table for the red above the black if it goes into the right corner. And that's more guaranteed. You play cannons into reds, it can go wrong.
7.
And that was the best red to play for anyway. That clears the black now. Yes, that wasn't forced to go right, and that's what he was concerned about.
14.
Gentle cannon. And you won't know what's going to be happening to the cue ball here. Needs a bit of side on. And he is on the blue, not ideally. Well, he could play the cannon to the brown, hold for the red to the middle. Could try and come in between the yellow and brown on that same red. But it's very risky to play that shot, but what he's played there was the easiest pot on the blue.
20.
But there wasn't a red that went into that left corner. If you look where the cue ball's going here, there's no red available into the left corner. So unless he played for the red into the yellow pocket, couldn't see him being on a red the way he played it. Well, can he cue at this red?
Neil Robertson, 20.
Both players still settling down into this last 16 match.
It's been the most lucrative season of Marco Fu's professional career. The highlight, of course, winning the Scottish Open in such terrific style. Made 11 century breaks in that tournament, and I think he made 3 of the 4 highest breaks. Around that time, he was in absolutely wonderful form. Overcame John Higgins in the final. And, of course, en route in the last 16, beat his opponent here today. Fu, also semi-finalist in the Masters. Runner-up in the Players' Championship. Lost narrowly to Judd Trump there. And semi-finalist in the World Grand Prix. Not to mention semi-finals of the UK Championship as well.
Yes, all in all, it means that without this World Championship, which could mean quite a lot of money, he's already won £300,000 this year. Could be another 375 for this tournament, taking him to over $500,000.
In contrast, Neil Robertson's season has been, by his standards, a little disappointing. It started off really, really well. Made the semi-finals of the World Open in China. Then he won the Riga Masters in Latvia, world ranking event. Overcame Judd Trump in the quarterfinals, beat Michael Holt 5-2 for the title. Got to the semi-finals of the European Masters in Romania as well, but he was whitewashed in those semi-finals, 6-0 by Ronnie O'Sullivan. And after that, his form really dipped.
Well, took the red on. Expecting him to play safe there, but was very positive. Took the red on, but he's left it.
One.
Oh, he's overscrewed it. Yeah, they're tough shots, those, when the cue ball's close to the cushion.
8.
Always good to knock in a good ball. Makes you feel so much better.
Nine.
That's a scene that never gets old. The Crucible Theatre.
Yeah, look how close the people are. Well, he played a little cannon there. That didn't go according to plan. He's still on a red to both middles. But he wanted to be on the red to the right corner.
$17.
Good recovery. Tournament total points there. Just over 1,000 now.
$23. $24.
A lot has been made this year about the fact that this is the 40th anniversary of the World Championship being at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield, and rightly so. Snooker needs to celebrate its heritage.
31.
The last time the World Championship was played outside of the UK,
32.
it was in 1975.
Where was that, Phil?
In Neil Robertson's homeland.
Is that where rain stopped play?
No, that was here in Manchester. Ray Reardon beat Eddie Charlton 31-30 with a last gasp recovery. The 1970 stroke 71 World Championship was also held in Australia. That was in Sydney. John Spencer was the winner.
Well, needs another red yet.
47.
71 points the lead, and just under hit that one ever so slightly. Was playing to block the pocket if he missed the black. But that should make him safe now.
$53.
And could well be another century. 3 reds on the right side cushion. Not easy.
$61.
Loves making century breaks, Neil Robertson. Tried to develop the red there. Oh, and again. How's he missed those 3 reds?
Yes, that trio of balls being rather antisocial.
The brown might afford him a chance to move one of the reds or drop him behind one.
The break ends at 62, and so indeed does the frame. Robertson back in front. 2-1. Session interval. To do that, he has to win this frame. Very latest news from the other table, by the way. I can tell you Graham Dott has just won the second frame on the black against Barry Hawkins. Hawkins missed the blue. So Dott leads 2-0.
Couldn't see enough of the red to pot it, so just the containing safety shot. Now, will Marco Fu take this red on to the baulk corner? Or will he try and keep things ultra tight? Could take it on and play for one of the baulk colours. He'd only leave the red he was playing on if he did miss it, but he can't be tempted. It's good safety. Well, couldn't have judged that speed any better. And this is difficult for Marco Fu to get down the table. I'd expect him just to touch that red. He won't give the safety advantage away the way that Robertson did in the last frame. By sending that red down the table, he's made the safety play down this end.
If you weren't with us at the top of the programme, you won't be acquainted with the draw, so I can tell you that the winner of this match will play either Zhao Guodong or, more likely, Mark Selby in the quarterfinals. Selby resumes this afternoon with a 6-2 lead.
That's a clever safety shot, that, from Neil Robertson. Playing cushion first and keeping the game open. Marco Fu is trying to tempt him into playing the safety down this end of the table. Good speed on the cue ball. But if he can see this red down the left side, he could have forced Neil Robertson into taking this red on. Black is available. Great pot. Terrific pot from Neil Robertson. And he has been the more positive of the two so far. Marco Fu's refused a pot already in this frame. And as I said earlier, I don't think you can afford to start doing that at this stage in the World Championship. You've got to be very positive.
Yes, and that's the hallmark of the Melburnian, the thunder from down under. When he's knocking reds in like that, watch out.
That's a terrible shot he's played there. Should have been straight on this black. Okay, he might still survive the shot, but you don't want to believe in yourself. Difficult positional shots. And he's out of position, I think.
16.
No, he can just get to the red. Yeah, he knew. And that was all down to the shot previously when he had such an easy red to leave himself low on the black. It was so easy just to leave himself straight, and he'd have been in full control. Can't see enough of that red, but may have one to the left middle.
And I don't know whether it's my perception or not, but the poor positional shot off the red and then the black, Robertson seemed to play both shots a little quicker than perhaps he normally would.
Yeah, maybe he didn't give it enough care. And he's been fortunate there, Phil, not to have left a red on, or an easy red. The red to the baulk corner, too risky to play. Now he's got to cover that red over the left corner. Try and use the green to cover that red. Yes, he didn't want contact with the second red, and he's left an ideal opportunity now for Marco Fu. Had his chance in this frame. Caught this red just a little bit too thick, making contact with that second red. And a gift. Marco Fu with the reds open. Great chance.
One.
So if you include the two poor positional shots when he was in prime position, then you include the missed pot, then the safety misjudgment. Robertson's made 4 mistakes in this frame, and that's something you do not expect from him. He's one of the game's very finest.
Yes, there used to be an old saying in my old billiard hall in Bradford, never follow a bad un with a bad un. And that's exactly what Neil Robertson did, as you pointed out. And they were all on the trot, really.
I'm sure that Fu is surprised, pleasantly surprised.
Well, he could play the cannon to the red directly above the black, which would leave him on the red to the left corner. Missed the cannon to the red, and now he's in trouble.
14.
If he hits the other red to the right, can't fail to be on the red to the left corner. It's got a red to the baulk corner, which is again very risky to play. He'd be leaving the red into that right middle. But got no option but to play it. Well, that's a good recovery.
15.
Awkward queuing on the yellow, but may have the brown to the middle, which would leave him on the red to the opposite middle.
Joe, you've had a first-hand look at the vast majority of tournaments throughout the season. I know you were
20.
very impressed with the way that Fu played at the Scottish Open, and I think there's an argument to say in terms of pure standard. No one has played any better to win a tournament throughout the campaign.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And Marco Fu certainly got a chance of winning this championship. Make no mistake about that. He's got every shot in the book. Although for me there, I think he played for the wrong red. He should have played for the red closest to the left corner. That would have freed the black into that pocket. Now he's got a screw back for the black on the red that he's played for. Screw back on the red, should I say.
26.
Couldn't get the right side of the blue. Well, completely out of position now. And I put that down to really 2-3 shots ago when he could have left the cue ball by the blue spot, played the red that's closest to the left corner, and he'd have been still in prime position. By playing for the red that he did, with the black not going into the left corner, he had to play the screw back for the blue, and that's where it went wrong. He gave it a chance to happen, and it happened. Oh, so close. And because he got so close, it stayed over the pocket. But if it's straight, Neil Robertson would need all his cue power to screw that cue ball back for the blue.
That's the ironic thing when you play a shot to nothing like that. If you're going to miss by some way. Don't get too close for your own good.
Watch the cue power here. Watch the cue power here. How many people could have played that shot?
Well, there really was the thunder from down under.
And deserved the good kiss. Left-handed, the blue looks to be the shot. And again, could do with coming down and playing that red to the left corner. And that's what he tried to do. And you see, that's the only red, really, for me, that makes a difference in the break. Now the black goes to both pockets. Marco Fu could have played for that red. He could have got away with it. Most times you do.
7. Thank you.
What a chance to take a 3-1 lead.
40.
Robertson asking the referee Jan Verhaas to clean the cue ball. This time next week, Joe. Jan Verhaas will be preparing to referee the first session of the final. It will be the 6th time he's officiated in the sport's most important match.
Great referee. Everybody likes him. Now, could play the cannon to the red above the black. But if the red goes, no need to. When you're playing little cannons, they can go wrong. So if you don't need to play them, don't play them.
23.
Just checking the scoreboard to see if he needs that red on the left side cushion. 8 points the difference. So, needs 3 of these reds.
30.
And the one on the left side cushion favours the left-handed player.
31.
Had his chance.
$38.
And needs to leave an angle on the black so he can stun across for this red on the left side of the table. And that looks okay. So red and a colour here would be enough. Maybe screw it for the blue. Blue would be enough.
$47.
Wasted one really good chance right at the start of the frame. But he's made amends.
Yeah, he could do with this red disappearing. It's just one snooker.
Okay. 53. $60.
Well, he certainly played the better of the two for me. Red breaks of 105, 62, and this 60 plus so far. 4 frames in an hour, that's pretty good going.
Robertson, 62 and the frame.
The break ends there, but it's more than sufficient for Neil Robertson to take a 3-1 lead into their first mid-session interval. But of course, best of 25, long way to go. I think it's fair to say that while Robertson wasn't his immaculate best during the early exchanges, he was far the superior of the two. Fu is a realistic self-critic. He will know improvement is absolutely essential.
Yes, I think he's got to be a little bit more positive, Marco Fu. And when he does get in, he's got to start scoring a little bit more. Pot success, as you can see, is only 85%. Didn't go for the pot there. Just played the containing safety shot. Just short of pace, and that's a little careless. Neil Robertson could have left this red on to the middle. Now Barry Hawkins is playing on the other table, but my good friend Jamie O'Reilly assures me that it's Barry Hawkins' birthday today.
It is, Joe. 38. The only gift he wants is victory.
Well, that was a cracking pot, that, to the middle from Marco Fu. And I think that's what he's got to do. He's got to attack the balls a little bit more. That was a good shot. Played it in such a way that he didn't leave anything, but the red he was playing on. And now he's in with a good chance.
7.
I've got another little fact for you. This, again, from my good friend Jamie O'Reilly, who assures me that Neil Foles made his debut at the World Championship on this day.
14.
I bet even Neil Foles doesn't know that.
15.
33 years ago today it was.
22.
$1984.
And funnily enough, I was commentating with Neil last night, and that was mentioned. And what a debut it was. In the first round, he defeated Alex Higgins 10-9.
Wow. I think he got up to number 3 in the world, Neil Foles. He was such a great player, you know.
Thank you. 29.
Always struggled with his eyes, though. Wore contact lenses, so did so well. Well, he expected a little kiss there off the reds, Marco Fu. He's still on the black, but he would have liked to have been on it a little straighter so it could have gone into the pack of reds. I mean, he still might go into them. But just got to be careful. Yep, he's overcut it, and that's the difference.
Mark of Fu, 30.
Had he been just that little bit straighter on the black, if it had got that little flick on the reds, it'd have been a little bit straighter. And he's left a red to the right corner. Played that shot with a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball to bring it round the... Look at this for a shot. Look at the side on the cue ball there to come round for the black perfectly. Excellent pot and position there from Neil Robertson. Very confident pot that, because there was distance between the balls. He's getting more and more confident.
Let me just quickly tell you that Barry Hawkins is back on level terms with Graham Dott at 2-2. Dott was in command of frame 4, missed a red to the middle he shouldn't have missed. Hawkins made a 50 clearance to pink.
9. Yep.
I'm not surprised that Robertson's having the cue ball cleaned here, even though the red went in and not a lot of pace was taken out of the white. The sound of the contact definitely suggested kick.
Yes, which has left him slightly hampered. If he takes the black, the pink's very thin.
$16. $17.
Now, it looks as though that plant might be heading towards the left-hand jaw as we're looking, but even though it's a three-baller, it can be made.
Yes, the third ball has to be hitting that middle ball the right way, otherwise this will reverse the wrong way.
23.
No danger.
And in playing that shot, as he knew full well, he's opened up the bunch.
Well, he could do with taking the blue, and if it had counted, he'd know that he can't afford to take anything else now but blacks. Otherwise, he's going to need that red on the right side cushion.
25. $26.
Checking the score. But if he gets next 4 reds, 4 blacks, Fu could only tie. has got the angle to bring that red into play here, if he wants to risk it. Now, I don't think he's got an option now but to play for the pink or blue.
33. 34. 39. 40.
Just coming down to have a look to see where he wants to be on the pink to bring that red into play. So I'm thinking 3 shots in front here, Neil Robertson. If he could land somewhere there. Again, just making sure where he wants
45.
to be. That circle's not on the table. He can't see it. Be handy if it was, wouldn't it?
46.
Now, he needs to play this at pace so the cue ball comes away from the cushion. Perfectly played. Perfectly played. And now you would expect him to win this
52.
frame and take 4-1 lead.
Extra reach allowed with the extension.
53.
It's been a faltering start from Marco Fu. There's no getting away from that.
Just stand still, please.
Yeah, big shot, and somebody was moving in the background there. And a nice easy red for frame ball.
60. 61.
In the first round,
Hold it, hold it, hold
he was dominant early on. He took an 8-1 lead after the first session against Thailand's Nopon Sankam. Again, Robertson quicker into his stride than his opponent in round 2.
63.
Yes, and you can see it in his
65.
demeanour that he's getting more confident the further he's going ahead. He can take more risks, whereas Marco
68.
Fu can't afford to take as many risks now. Pot success up at 93% as opposed to 84
72.
from Marco Fu. It's got to improve.
Yes, 84% doesn't cut the mustard at all.
77. 83. 90 and 10.
Nicely done by Neil Robertson. Fu made the mistake. Robertson pounced. Can't be behind going into the second session. Marco Fu struggling to score, struggling in general. But Neil Robertson, who began the contest with a century break, looks pretty good. And Robertson knows that when he's got a quality opponent who is finding life difficult right now, he knows it's time to exploit that and build as big a lead as possible.
Fully agree. He'll want to, and with shots like that, he's not putting him under pressure. Okay, he hasn't left an easy pot on. He has left a chance at the pot. But if he doesn't decide to take it on, it's an easy safety. When you can get your hand on the table. Looking at the possibility of a plant there. But he's knocked in a cracking red. And if that cue ball bounces, he's going to be on the yellow. Picked this one out beautifully.
Neil Robertson.
Just didn't bounce hard enough for the yellow. It was potable, but it was a really thin shot. Decided to keep the pressure on Fu.
And Fu's well aware how dominant Robertson can be. When they met in the first round of the Masters last year, Robertson whitewashed Fu 6-0.
Well, that was a risky red to play onto. I thought he would have rolled into the cluster. He's left a chance here for Robertson. Just didn't get the speed right there. Red will go to the middle. And so it goes to the corner. It's never in. He was on the black, played it in such a way that he hasn't left anything down this end of the table. But the red is onto the ball corner. If it was Robertson this, I'd suggest that he'd screw back for the blue from there. But that's the cue power of Robertson. Well, you can tell that he's not feeling confident. He's not taking the red on, and again, I'm surprised at that. But if you don't fancy it, you can't play it. Managed to hide that red in the balk area.
Can tell you, by the way, that Barry Hawkins and Graham Dott have now resumed after their mid-session interval. Just a reminder, 2-2 over there.
Well, he was forced into taking that pot on, and you've got to say that he's unfortunate with this second kiss on the red. Finishing up in the jaws of the pocket there. He deserved better. And again, he could be taking the black on, but he's playing the safety.
Marco Fu.
Just doesn't fancy taking them on, but look what happened when he did there. He knocked in a super red.
All players thrive on confidence, but some need it more than others. And throughout his career, Fu, by his own admission, has been one of those players who hits the heights when he's confident. If it's low, he's vulnerable to defeat by anyone.
Yeah, I think that's what Ronnie O'Sullivan was saying, wasn't he? That, you know, sometimes when he's poor, he's really poor. Well, that certainly opened things up, but he's pushed a red right over that corner pocket. Now, if Marco Fu can get to a colour from that red, no idea where the reds were going to go when he played that shot. He was just trying to concentrate on the cue ball, which wasn't bad until the red went over the pocket.
Yes, you're right. You could say Robertson was unlucky. A red found its way there. He was, but playing a shot of that nature, that's always the risk.
Absolutely, you've no idea what's going to happen to the reds. A little harder, it could have gone in. So it's all on this shot. If he can get the cannon correctly. Well, he's on the pink to the middle. And he's got to take it on. Probably doesn't feel comfortable taking this pink on, but it's a chance to win the frame. Yeah, good shot. And now every chance.
7.
Well, the black goes to the left corner. Could play up for the blue. Could play that shot. There's quite a few shots he could play. Could play the red to the middle. Red, that's by the pink spot.
8.
Well, normally this is the Marco Fu wheelhouse. This is where he excels in and around the black spot.
He'd like to get rid of
15.
that red to the left of the black. And maybe if he plays the red to the right corner, finishes straight on the black. Well, again, I'm surprised he's taking this red. It might work
16.
out okay for him, but the red to the right corner would have led to the black.
$19. $20. $25.
Well, not ideal on any of the reds so far. But if he can stun across for the black,
26.
well, again, not the best positional shot. I think he expected to
33.
get the cannon to the red. He's the wrong side of the red. Having to go back down for the blue again. Got to finish the right side. And that will do.
34.
Back in prime position. Just.
Needs a catalyst to start feeling stronger in his game, stronger in his mind. And again, though, struggling.
Yeah, well, again, I thought he would have come down for the two reds to the left and right of the
39.
black. They're the problem balls for him. And he had the angle on the blue to stun to the cushion and off.
40.
And as long as he keeps scoring, again, he's a little straight on the blue.
Yes, this is not so far your stereotypical Marco Fu break. Normally, he's millimetre perfect with that cue ball. Plenty of toil involved in this one.
Yep, and he needs another one. These are missable, these reds, to the right
45.
corner. And again, got to get the right side of the blue. Good shot. And that right side cushion has provided few big bounces, and may have done again there. $51 points, the difference. Still needs
51.
a couple of reds.
$52.
Oh, played that one well. So this black One more red. Robertson needs a snooker. Well, it's been a very good break, this, from Marco Fu. He's had to work hard for it. But now every chance of making a century of his own.
Yes, gutsy this, considering the circumstances. Lots of pressure balls knocked in. And you mentioned a century, Joe. Earlier in this match, I talked about the fact that Neil Robertson
67.
was fourth on the all-time century breakmakers list in professional competition.
68.
Well, Marco Fu stands seventh on that list. If he gets to three figures here, it would be his 450th century in professional competition.
$75. 76.
And just the lift he needed.
$83. 84.
Needs a big bounce.
91. $93. Thanks.
Yeah, nicely played.
96.
And that's going to make him feel 10 times better. It's a turn up.
$105.
And in matches between these two, it happens so often. Centuries being traded.
111.
It's a clash of the scoring supremos. And the highest break has just been made by Marco Fu. Robertson 4, Fu 2. In the scoring groove. At 4-1 down, he badly needed something positive. And the century break he's just made there most certainly was positive. Two more frames to be played in this session. Robertson looking to kick on again. Grim expression on the face. Doesn't like losing any frame, does the 2010 world champion. Fu's just answered the call of nature, popped out of the auditorium for a moment or so. On the other table, by the way, slower and scrappier going. It's Hawkins 2, Dot 2. Now this is the bold red that caused, in the end, Robertson's problems, Joe.
Yeah, he pushed one right over the corner a little harder,
Frame 7.
and it would have been in.
You're up.
But that's what started the break off. So Robertson to break now. 7th frame of 8 in this session. Maybe a red to the right corner. Straight down. No thinking. Straight down and attacking the red. A little shorter pace. And another chance for Fu. Tough one. Oh, very close. Very close, but because he's missed it, when you miss a red, you've no idea where it's going to go. It's opened the reds up. And the pendulum swings to Robertson.
1.
And the pendulum could be swinging to Hawkins on the other table. Graham Dott led at 2-0. Now, though, Hawkins finds himself in front at 3-2.
Quietly, please.
Average frame time, just over 15 minutes. That's pretty good stuff. But we've had lots of breaks. 2 centuries already in this last 16 match. Oh, a let off for Marco Fu.
New Robertson, 6.
Just what Marco needed. Now, if he could come down for the 2 reds by the black spot. Those 2 reds lead to the black. Nothing in the shot time between them both. Robertson just 1 second faster.
You mentioned, Joe, that they've both had centuries already. When these two meet,
6.
That's a common occurrence. They clashed in a European Tour event in 2013. Robertson won the match 4-3. 2 centuries each. When they met in the 4th round of the 2014 World Open, Fu won 5-4 on the black. He had 3 centuries. Robertson had 1.
Oh, it stays out.
Marco Fu, 6.
So 1 missed pot each.
Yes, so while we were talking about centuries, this frame has been all about mistakes so far.
That could be a big turning point for Marco Fu. Could have been 4-3 so easily there. Well, he'd like to get through to the red directly, but he could play the other red onto it. As long as he played it hard enough for the red to come away from the pocket, once it knocks the red in, he'd be on the black. But if he can get to it directly, that would be better. Could have done with being closer to the black. This is tough. Powered the red in, but didn't finish up on a red.
8.
So both had chances in this 7th frame. And Marco Fu looks like he'll be coming back to the table.
Robertson 8.
Well, I don't see any other shot really than playing the red above the middle pocket. But you can see problems playing that red. But everything else could leave a chance for Neil Robertson. Well, the reason why he didn't want to play that shot is that possibly leaving a shot to nothing into the right corner. Hasn't managed to cover that red. So you wouldn't call it a half chance, but a quarter chance.
Well, but for an intervening red, that plan might be on. Pretty straightforward return to balk anyway. Well, he made it.
Yes, he had a good look at it.
1.
And obviously it would go. So, Fu in with another chance. Green to the middle. Black goes to the right corner.
And I don't know about you, Joe, but I'm just detecting a shift in momentum here.
Yes, Robertson had his chance, didn't he? It was a good chance, but he failed to get position on the red from the black. And that was a good chance to go 5-2. Has the angle to come down for the red next to the black. Well, could play for the red into the left corner. Try and leave himself straight on the red so he can get to the black. Played down for the red, just to the right of the black there. But not finished straight enough on it.
10.
Black doesn't go to the left corner, so up for the blue or pink.
Well, not for the first time in this break. Not the best of contacts, but that was the most obvious kick. Look at this. Pink jumps in the air.
70.
Yes, but I think the kick has left him on the red to the right corner. Had it come back a little further, he wasn't on anything. Just have a look at this, Phil. He can just get to the red.
80.
So that's one of the times that the kick's probably done him a favour. 10 points the lead. An attacking shot there. Got the cannon perfectly. Pink will
25.
go to the left middle.
$26.
One thing you'll notice about Marco Fu, he wears a very, very big wristwatch. Clearly not off-putting for him in any way, but it's a really immense thing.
32.
There you can see. Oh, and what a red.
Marco Fu.
What a red to go astray.
32.
Well, that's incredible. Hasn't left anything easy for Neil Robertson, but what a miss. And that doesn't do your confidence any good whatsoever. It was right on the verge of making it 4-3. And if it goes 5-2, he'll have a lot to think about. And where's this red going to finish? Where's this red going to finish? And that's a poor safety, you've got to say, from Robertson. He knows where that red was heading for off the two cushions. Well, what is going on with Neil Robertson at the with Marco Fu at the moment? I mean, it was a long way away, but you fancied him for that. But again, isn't punished. Could have left something easier, I suppose.
Without any doubt, the scrappiest, the most error-strewn frame of the session. That's better.
Yeah, that makes amends. Brave shot to take on, because he was leaving balls on had he missed it. So time
5.
to recompose himself. Forget all about those couple of shots he's just missed. 30 points the difference. Still not straightforward this yet. A little straight on the black, so may have to play for this red behind the black. And it is missable. If it's touching the cushion,
70.
he should be okay. If it's just off the cushion, tough pot. It's touching, so he should be okay. Hugging the cushion there as it went along. 42 points in front. So needs one more red. Has the angle to stun in behind these reds.
$25.
Just needs the red to the middle.
$26.
And it's going to be 4-3. It could have gone the other way. You may look back at this frame, Neil Robertson, as a little turning point, because it could have gone 5-2 so easily.
33. $38. 39.
The snooker from both was rather scruffy until Fu knocked in that tremendous red to balk. This is the result. And now he's right back in it.
Yes, it was a positive shot he took
46.
on to the green pocket, because he was leaving reds on, and it wasn't a gimme, that red, by any means. Tough red. But it won him the frame.
48.
And everything to play for again, just one frame in it.
51.
Made 118 in the last frame.
$55. $60. $60 and a frame.
Leading 4-1, Australia's finest was in command. But he's lost his grip. Fu only one back. Now looking to achieve parity after the session.
To break.
If Fu wins it, he will be ecstatic. To salvage 4-4 after being 4-1 down would be a massive result for him. I think if Robertson were to win this frame, he might be a tad disappointed with 5-3, but he shouldn't be.
No, I think he'd be quite happy with 5-3 if he can get there. Not with that shot.
He's out of kilter at the moment.
Long pot success favouring Robertson at the moment. A little pacey. Easy enough snooker in behind the blue. Oh, the long red. Oh, Well, you can't believe that. Maybe the cue ball turned a fraction.
And had he laid that snooker, which looked far more likely than not, that snooker could have been troublesome.
Well, can he get to the red? To the right corner pocket? Or is it just a safety? It's just a safety. Oh, there may be a red. That cuts to the left, the right corner. Yep. All kinds of things nearly happened. Another good safety from Marco Fu. Yeah, another very good safety shot from Neil Robertson.
This match outpacing the other one. I can tell you that Graham Dott has just drawn level with Barry Hawkins at 3-3. Dott made a 64 break. Hawkins could have pinched it on the black. Dott eventually shaded it on the green. 3-3.
Well, this red is on to the left corner. He's just having a look to see what he would leave if he took it on and missed it. But if he pots it, the brown could be available. They need to leave the cue ball somewhere where the red is. Again, showing the cue power there. Screwing that cue ball out of the danger area. What a shot to have in your arsenal. Now, if you can see enough of it, the red below the pink. And again, the brown waiting if it goes in. Caught the other one thin. Not this time. And it goes. So a little congested round the black area. But a great chance with the blue and pink free. Could do with a kiss.
5.
So, again, it's down to Robertson.
Six.
If you're just joining us, I can tell you that Robertson had much the better of the early exchanges. A break of 105 in the opening frame established the pattern. He then made 2 more breaks of 62 for 3-1 at the interval.
11.
It was 4-1 when he cleared up with 90 in the 5th.
12.
Since then, though, guilty of a few mistakes. Here looking to regain the earlier thread.
18.
Yes, he's going to concentrate on the pink at the moment. Black out of commission.
19. 25. 26.
Just not enough topspin on the cue ball. Just got into the white a little bit too much stun on the cue ball. So needs to drop this in dead weight.
$32. 33.
And nicely on the pink for this red above the black, which frees the other one into the other corner.
Sure. 39. 40. 46. 47.
Well, just under hit that one slightly, but can just drop the pink in for the red to the right. But would rather have been the other side of the pink. Oh, well,
Robertson.
he holds his hands up, but he's missed it thin, so it couldn't have been a kick.
I think he believes the pink moved in.
Well, not by that much, surely.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
One.
Well, these reds above the black, two of them will go to that left corner. And if he could drop on the one nearest the black, he may be able to develop the black. Here's the pink again, but he's missed that by a long way, really. It hasn't dipped that much.
He's there, I'm not. My interpretation is that the pink did dip, but I think he missed it anyway.
Doesn't want to hit the reds.
Six.
That was a little careless. He's still on a red, but he would have been on them nicely to maybe develop the black, but he just caught the reds here.
7.
One thing we can say without fear or favour, this is the most important frame of the session. Could have a big psychological impact for when they start this evening again.
Well, that's a possibility, but wouldn't recommend it because the 2 reds do go to the left corner. And that's what he's played. Needs a bit of luck. That's brought the black into play. Can't get to it this shot.
13.
But the next shot he can. No, he's a little heavy. And that's a poor positional shot from Marco Fu.
18.
Should have been on one of these reds to get to the black. So back down for the blue or one of the baulk colours. Didn't want the kiss. That makes it harder to get to the next red.
$22. $23.
And not ideal on the black. Can't hold for the red on the black cushion, but might be able to move the red near that middle pocket or drop in behind it. Something like that. Well, it's potable, but again, it's a difficult pot, and he's got to hold that cue ball top side of the black.
41.
Good pot. Now, has he got the angle to get to the red, or is he too straight? That's probably the worst place he could be. Could play for it to the right corner, but that would be a tough pot. Well, this is
38.
tough. Very nearly missed the black.
39.
I think he thought he'd missed that.
I'm sure he was convinced he had missed it. Caught an awful lot of that far jaw, but at that pace all week they've been going in.
Well, that had missed. For me, that had missed. The pockets may be template size, but the fall on the pocket, just where it's curved on the pocket edge, the slate just maybe shaved a little bit, and the red just caught the angles and dropped in.
These two top pockets, from what I've seen, they're very harsh when it comes to hitting the near jaw. They will give you nothing. Hitting the far jaw, friendly.
Yep. And too straight on the black to get to the yellow. And that's what his problem is now. That's what he's thinking about. What does he do? What does he do? There's 8 points in the game. He needs the pink. So he's bringing the pink into play.
Marker Fu, 39.
Well, if you're going to bring the pink into play, make sure that it is in play. That could have gone back on the cushion again. Can't see the yellow full enough to leave the cue ball there. But he can send the yellow down the table. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball to try and check it in behind the colours. Caught it too thin.
Barry Hawkins has just made a half-century break. And as he was at 3-2, he's in front. He leads Graham Dodd 4-3.
Well, that will do nicely. Not quite a snooker, but safe. Can he be tempted? No attempt at the pot.
I think on balance, that made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Control over the shot there. He's just gone favourite in this frame. And now it's going to be down to Marco Fu.
Two.
He needs down to the pink.
Good pressure pot, but he dug into the cue ball just a hair too much. He's okay on the brown, though. Not perfect, but okay.
Yeah, plenty of pressure on this shot.
Nine.
Yeah, slightly heavy. And that is not a good place to be. It's going to be difficult to get to an easy pink from there. Good pot.
14.
And just in no man's land. Okay, he's got the pot to the corner and he can play the cue ball to the baulk cushion. But it's a tough one. No, he's overcut it.
Marker Fu.
Played the cue ball
14.
to the baulk cushion. But still, this frame, anybody's.
Yes, they've left the most dramatic frame of the session to the end.
Well, that's terrible. Caught the pink too thin. Cue ball could have drifted off. Looks like it's going to cost him.
6 under frame.
Indeed, Neil Robertson doesn't moan and gripe for no reason. I think he believes he was aggrieved there. Wow, what a turn of events. Tell you what, it's level board. But Marco Fu's Sunday lunch